that's my music. When you trying to get hot and sexy, you'll put my music on, so that's how we do it.
Grammy-winning singer D'Angelo has died. His family tells E.T. the R&B icon died Tuesday after a prolonged and courageous battle with cancer.
And to think, not too long ago, everybody was talking junk about him not showing up at Angie Stone's funeral, only for us to find out today that clearly he wasn't well enough to show up. This is the same thing we did with Chadwick Boseman. Whatever it is, we got to learn to watch our mouth on some things because we really never know what's going on behind the scenes.
You know, he's one of my mentors, you know, and I miss him dearly. It's, you know, it was just a heavy blow, but his contribution is timeless. You know, when the archaeologists come to go through the rubble and they look for, you know, what was this culture, they're gonna look to the art first, and I'm sure they'll find, you know, his follicle.
Two legends who defined an entire era of black music, gone within months of each other. D'Angelo, the mysterious genius who redefined soul, and Angie Stone, the powerhouse voice who helped build the foundation he stood on. And now the world is mourning them both. When news hit this week that D'Angelo passed just 4 months after Angie Stone, fans were left stunned. Some called it a coincidence, others called it fate, but everyone felt the weight of it. It really feels like the end of something sacred in our culture. And now, one of D's closest friends, Q-Tip, has spoken out for the first time. But the truth about what D'Angelo was going through before his death, it's deeper than most of us ever knew.
D'Angelo Archer died today following a battle with pancreatic cancer. He was only 51 years old. And pancreatic cancer is the third leading cause of cancer deaths in the U.S., but it ranks at 10th most common cancer diagnosis.
Angie Stone's death back in March 2025 already had the world in shock. A fatal car accident in Atlanta took her life at just 63 years old. And the neo-soul community hasn't been the same since. This was the woman who helped create that sound, one of the godmothers of the movement.
Loved entertainer, credited with helping pioneer the neo-soul music genre and writing some of its biggest hits.
She was a pure singer, and, you know, we remember her from the sequence, B. Angie B., the rapper.
Angie Stone's talent and temperament are what people who knew her say they'll miss most.
Probably the nicest person you would ever want to meet.
Stone was tragically killed in an early morning car crash Saturday. The R&B soul singer, her band, and backup dancers were all traveling back from a show in Montgomery, Alabama, when the Sprinter they were in overturned. Officials say she was the only fatality in the crash.
But just when fans were still trying to process that loss, October came, and the news hit again. D'Angelo, gone at 51 after a long battle with pancreatic cancer. Quietly, privately, with only his closest circle aware of how sick he really was. D'Angelo passed on Tuesday, October 14th, and his family shared the devastating news in a statement saying, "The shining star of our family has dimmed his light for us in this life. After a prolonged and courageous battle with cancer, we are heartbroken to announce that Michael D'Angelo Archer, known to his fans around the world as D'Angelo, has been called home, departing this life today, October 14th, 2025. And this one just feels different from any other celebrity death. It feels personal, because for so many of us, D'Angelo and Angie Stone weren't just artists, they were part of our story. The soundtracks to our coming of age, our heartbreak, our Sunday mornings. Losing them both just months apart really feels like losing family. And to think that after Angie's death, the internet went after D'Angelo, attacking him for not showing up at Angie's funeral, calling him cold, ungrateful, disconnected. Some even said he was still bitter about their fallout. But what nobody knew was that D'Angelo was fighting for his life at that exact time. Behind closed doors, he'd been battling pancreatic cancer for months, keeping it quiet, protecting his family and his peace from the chaos of public life. D'Angelo wasn't ignoring Angie. He was honoring her the only way he could, privately, in pain, with the dignity he always carried. In fact, following news of D'Angelo's death on October 14th, a source told People magazine that losing Angie was devastating to D'Angelo. He never arrived at her funeral service. He was extremely overwhelmed, the source said. They'd moved on with their lives romantically, of course, but the idea that both of them would be gone within the same year is sad. They were forever tied as the pop culture couple. D'Angelo was the quiet genius from Richmond, and Angie, already a respected singer and songwriter, met in the late 90s. Their connection went beyond romance. They understood each other on a level most people don't. And while many criticized Angie for getting involved with D'Angelo, who was 12 years younger than she, Angie always claimed that D'Angelo pursued her, and they had a deeper connection than most people realized.
D'Angelo and I got connected by way of Jocelyn Cooper, who was signing us both as songwriters. When I was in the studio with Vertical Hole at the time when D'Angelo came into the studio. But I have you to know that, and I'm going to have everybody know because I want to set the record straight, he pursued me. I did not pursue him. I thought he was older than what he was because he had an old soul. And anybody that's hanging around him long enough will attest to that is the truth.
In 1997, D'Angelo and Angie welcomed a son, Michael D'Angelo Archer Jr., but they split just 2 years after Michael was born. And Angie later hinted that the industry was preying on D'Angelo. And while she never revealed exactly what happened, she claimed that she found out some disturbing secrets that made her look at the industry in a whole different light.
Of course, D'Angelo and I were very good friends, but I need for you to know that as wonderful as that friendship has been, it came with a lot of challenges. And I'll tell you the nature of the industry based on a secret that I recently found out from someone who is credible, that let me in on some things that I didn't know even up until lately. And I have to tell you, it was shocking just to find out. But in any event, I will share them with you and let you know the devil don't play fair. No, this is not Angie Stone's life story, but what it is.
But despite all that negativity the industry was pushing on them, D'Angelo and Angie's bond never completely disappeared. Losing these two icons within months is devastating, not just for fans, but for their family. And for their son, Michael Jr., it's unimaginable. Following D'Angelo's death, Michael Jr. told People in a statement, "I am grateful for your thoughts and prayers during these very difficult times, as it has been a very rough and sad year for me. I ask that you please continue to keep me in your thoughts, as it will not be easy. But one thing that both my parents taught me was to be strong, and I intend to do just that." And for D'Angelo and Angie's friends and peers, this loss is a reminder of how these two shaped neo-soul and black music as a whole. And one of the first to react to the sad news was D'Angelo's longtime friend, Q-Tip. Q and D'Angelo go way back. They were part of the Soulquarians Collective, a group of musicians who were changing the sound of R&B and hip-hop in the late 90s and early 2000s. But they weren't just collaborators, they were friends. People who understood each other's creative vision, their struggles, and their quiet way of dealing with the pressures of the industry.
Because it's a thing about my good friend Kamal Fareed, Q-Tip, always says that. It's like, we're not trying to preach to the converted. So, you know, it's about getting the message to the people that need it the most, you know?
Yeah.
And now Q-Tip is speaking out about D'Angelo for the first time since his death. And while he didn't go into every detail, you could hear the respect and grief in his words. He talked about D's brilliance, his generosity, and how much he meant to everyone around him. For fans, it was a reminder that even when D'Angelo stayed private, he was never truly alone. He had people who loved him and got him, and Q-Tip was one of the closest. And now other artists have also joined Q-Tip in their tributes to D'Angelo, sharing how much he inspired them throughout the years. Beyoncé honored D'Angelo with a post published on her official website that read, "Rest in peace, Michael Eugene Archer, known to the world of music as the inimitable D'Angelo. We thank you for your beautiful music, your voice, your proficiency on the piano, your artistry. You were the pioneer of neo-soul, and that changed and transformed rhythm and blues forever. We will never forget you." Missy Elliott expressed her condolences for D'Angelo and Angie's son and wrote, "Rest peacefully, D'Angelo. No parent wants to see their children go, but it's painful for children to see their parents go too. So send prayers up for his son, who also lost his mom this year, for strength." Meanwhile, Jamie Foxx, who often cited D'Angelo as one of his biggest inspirations, posted a tribute on Instagram with a long caption where he wrote about how hearing D'Angelo's music for the first time made him think that whoever this is, they are anointed. "Your voice was silky and flawless," Jamie wrote. "I was graciously envious of your style and your swag. I was also in pure awe of your talents, roaming around on each instrument, displaying your expertise in every note and every song as I watched you command the crowd, mostly women. Me and all the guys that were there with me understood the mission. It was time to let our girls enjoy this moment and not bother them. You took them on a musical journey of soul, funk, and an overall artistic romance. The incredible dismount of your incredible song, How Do You Feel, still goes down in performance history. Jamie concluded by saying, God put you here for a reason, and we were all lucky enough to see what God had made. That's why today, real tears run down my face to hear the news that God has taken one of his special creations home. I know God doesn't make mistakes, but this one hurts like hell. Rest up, my friend. You will be missed forever, but your music and your impression will be felt for generations to come. Rest in power and beautiful music. You are one of one. And I think a lot of us feel exactly like Jamie Foxx. This one really does hurt like hell. D'Angelo and Angie's music shaped generations, carried our feelings, and gave life to the moments we'll never forget. D'Angelo's genius, Angie's power, their artistry and love, it's all something that will live on forever. So now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me your favorite song from D'Angelo or Angie Stone. Maybe share how their music impacted you or a memory it brings back. Let's celebrate their legacy together and keep their music alive in our hearts. Rest in power, D'Angelo. Rest in power, Angie Stone. Your voices will never be forgotten.